Hi guys, so today we are showcasing the FTX Tracer. Now this is a little 1/16 truck to give you an idea of how tiny it is. There's an 8 scale, here's my hand, it's absolutely tiny. But this is without doubt the most RC fun you can have for 60 quid. 59.99. Now this one is obviously, I've used it a lot, got some signs of wear, which has been really tough, and I have done some modifications and changes to it, so we'll just take the top off and let you have a look. So this is it undressed, and it's got front and rear diffs, proper diffs, 4-wheel drive, tough chassis, brace across the top, and when it comes originally, it has I've just taken the servo out at the moment. The servo goes here, has a little built-in ESC and speed controller, and a bit bigger motor than this. This is a brushless one. We normally have a bit fatter motor in a brushed 390 in the FTX Tracer. Now 390 motors are this sort of size. This is actually a brushless one, but you can see it's a lot bigger. So it's quite rapid, out of the box for a 60 quid car. Comes with a 1500 milliamp hour little 2S LiPo. It's really good. Now it comes with a basic controller, which this isn't the one out of the car, but it's very similar. This is actually a Carson ready to run one, but it's a similar thing. Turn the speed up and down, got a little bit of steering rate, small enough to be kiddie friendly, though I'm not saying this is a kid's car, but you can turn the speed right down here, which enables him to run around slow if you don't want to be driving them fast. And the EEC that they come with is a little unit similar to this. It's got an electronic speed controller and a receiver built into one. Like I said, this is a Carson one. And these ready-to-run tracers come with a 5-pin servo, which is a bit unusual nowadays. But there we go, it does the job. Now there's lots of mods. I'm just going to talk you through what we've done. I say it's fantastic out of the box for 60 quid. And the beauty of the FTX Tracer is that all the mods for this truck, they're all pocket money prices. I mean, literally a few quid. So you can actually build it up into a brushless conversion like I have for really very little money. And there is some options though. You can go on online to places like AliExpress and Banggood and buy versions of this truck, exactly the same chassis and everything, just a different name on. And these are from companies like SG, the 1601, HBX Destroyer, which I think is a 16899 or something like that. But they're all exactly the same car, and there's versions with the wing, with the wheelie bar, without. Basically, if you get the low one, the truggy, they come with a wheelie bar and a wing, and the trucks, the monster trucks like this one, don't. On any of the versions. FTX do a truggy version of this as well, brushed for 60 quid with the wing and the wheelie bar. So there's lots and lots of options. Now this has been bashed. It's had probably 50 packs through it. Probably about 5 of those were brushed, and then I changed to brushless. And it has been rolled, cartwheeled, bounced, thrown, bumped, smashed into a tree. And the only thing that's happened is you'll see some blue screws tucked away in here. I've lost a couple of screws out of the steering arm, and the wires for one of the, just see on the front here, the wires for one of the LED lights has come disconnected. I've not bothered to solder them back on yet. I just plug them back on until they fall off again at the moment. Now this is a upgrade kit from Supass Hobby for this particular car, or similar ones, or even some 12 scales. What you get in this box here for your money is a 2440 size motor. Now that is smaller than the 390 that's in the car, but it's a massive 4600 kV, which is a lot of power. A 35 amp electronic speed controller, and a 3 kilogram servo. Now the servo that comes in this kit, unfortunately, is too big for the car. These particular cars use a micro servo, mini servo, whatever you want to call them. There is specific names, and there's various different ones. Now this is an upgraded servo for the car. I didn't know until I started looking at buying these, but they're 18G, 17G, 16G, and they alternate the size. This particular car uses an 18G servo, and it's had the mounting arms cut off because it goes in a clamp. Now this is the 3-wire one for the brushless upgrade. The one that came in the kit was just a 5-wire. So if you are going to go brushless converting a Tracer, you'll need to buy a servo as well. Whereas if you buy a 1601 or HBX Destroyer, they will come with the 3-wire servo and a suitable EEC for the brushless. So upgrade wise, servo, this is my second upgraded servo. The servo saver's pretty weak. I should have fitted a proper, even a Tammy one would have been better. But I haven't, so I broke a couple of servos. I said I haven't broke the car. The car I haven't, but I have broke some servos. So I finally found my way to my favourite brand of servo, which is JX. And this is a metal geared, ball bearing, 3.5 kilo torque servo in 18G that'll go in this 1/16 size car and many others. And this is going to be going tucked in there. It's going to need the arms cutting off, obviously, for obvious reasons. It won't go without it with the clamp, so we're going to have to take the arms off the case. But these are like 15-16 quid. I'm going to put a proper servo saver on, albeit only a Tammy one, and I doubt I will have to replace that servo again. These are pretty tough and pretty quick. The car comes with friction shocks. These are the friction shocks here. Springy. Do the job for a little brushed motor, but once you go brushless, you're going to need some oil-filled shocks, a bit of damping action. Now you can get a set of shocks, metal, for 10 quid for this car. They're brilliant, but I've used some Absema ones for a TTO1 or similar, and these are about 25 quid a set. But the springs on them are road springs, they're far too hard, so these are actually the springs off the 10 quid set, and on the Absema shocks. But you don't need to go that mad. The 10 quid ones do the job great, and I've got those front and rear. Another thing I've added on here is I've added the wing, bolts straight on. It was about 4 quid. I've added a wheelie bar, it was about £5. Bolts straight on in place of the rear bumper. There's a metal drive shaft front and rear on these cars. And then radio wise, I've put my Sanwa M17 in. There's a posh one in the back there, but a little aftermarket servo. But you can use the radio that's with it, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's just that I run all my cars on the M17, just got one handset then. So the upgraded ESC that came in the kit was about 26 quid, the kit with a servo and a motor. And I've added a fan to this one off a 120 amp EC, but they only screw into the heatsink, so it's easy enough to do. And I've put a heatsink against the motor in the gap, just servo taped it in just to give it a bit of cooling. But I've had no issues with this. I've ran 5 packs through this in a row, 30 odd 40 minute run times with a larger capacity pack, and no issues with the motor, and it's blisteringly quick. I've got some running videos of this in the cloud. I'll download them and get them put up to the channel. But what's happening now is I'm going to go absolutely crazy with this, and I've tracked myself to a well, I initially tracked myself to a 2845 motor for this, which is the one I showed you earlier, which in my opinion will be stupid quick in this car. I mean, this one is 4,400 kilovolts, but there's so much more pull in this bigger motor, and it adds a bit of weight as well, so it'll probably handle better, to be honest. A bit of weight in it won't be so flighty. Now the 35 amp EC in this is probably okay with this, but there's a possibility it might be a bit much for it. So I was looking around to get another EEC, and I managed to find another Surpass kit. Now this is a Platinum series, which is supposed to be better than the standard ones. Now I bought this with a motor as a combo. It was about I think £40. Now that's a lot for a 45 amp ESC, but there was not many of them around, and to get the Platinum one, which is waterproof, if you take the fan off, you can get them in a pretty white. You've got to pay that sort of money. And it also come with the Platinum motor, which has got the cooling in the can, and this is a 2845 or a 390 size in brushless in old money, and this is only 3100 kilovolts, waterproof again. Now to be honest, this will probably suit this little car better than the 4000 and odd. With the extra torque and a bigger motor, this could well be the way to go. We will see. You know, watch this space. There's been a few other upgrades on here as well, but what I do want to say is, even brushed, other than oil shocks, 10 quid a set. You probably don't need to change anything. Maybe change the servo out. But as you start to play, you want to add things, so there is other things you can do. You can get a metal drive gear. I've not. You've got a brass pinion with a kit. I've ordered a metal one, and I'll be running a metal pinion against a nylon gear, which in the long run should do the job. And being that it's a bit flighty, I've actually got some hub extenders for the car. Now these go inside the wheels. I'll take a wheel off and show you, and they increase the width of the car so to make it a lot more stable through the turns. So these bad boys, these go onto the axle here to replace the little 4-5mm ones on the wheels. I've already upgraded to metal ones previously, and these go on here, which obviously bring the wheel out much further than, if you look at the back one there, bring the wheel out much further than they are. Not quite as far as that, but it's a big change. So there'll be a lot more stability with that. These are, the extenders are 4 or 5 quid a set, AliExpress, bang good. And something else I already upgraded as well was I changed to, I don't know if you can see them tucked away in there, but metal drive shafts, which like these here. Now these are only front universals. These are only 5 or 6 quid a set. I've put the metals on the rear as well, but to be honest, even with the brushless, you know, the drive shafts that come with them, you know, there's a bit of flex in them, but they're plastic, but they're pretty robust. And unless they were breaking, you probably don't need to replace them. Obviously, I've not run these on brushless. I don't know what they'd be like, but the brushless cars that you buy come with these as standard, so they must be up to the job. So, replacement shocks, universals on the front, metal diff cups, same on the back, oil shocks on the back. Now, you can get all these arms and hubs and everything in metal, but you know, all this plastic is reinforced. It's pretty flexy, it doesn't bend. It costs a couple of quid to replace a part. I've no plans to change anything else on here. Maybe if I could get one, I might put a metal top brace on, but so I'm not doing any jumps. It ain't gonna fold, so it could be the way to go. So all in all, I've probably spent, just with the original upgrade, about £80–90 on this car. And you can buy one for £80–90 at Banggood or AliExpress, already brushless with all the toys. But if you want to dip your toe in the water, you want to turn it down for your 4 or 5 year old even, FTX Tracer, really good car, highly recommended. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video and the information, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, tell all your friends. Honest, down to earth advice, that's all you'll get here on this channel. Mad Hatter RC Chats. Thank you very much for watching.